Good evening, America. I am Liam Reagan, and you're tuned into Fox News' live coverage of the 2024 January presidential election. Tonight, we embark on a journey together through the heart of American democracy. Edward DuPont, if he is ready. I think he's joining us by phone. An update that I do have is that at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, the polls will be closing in the Northeast region. I'll let the control room let me know if that is correct. So, okay, 7 p.m. Okay. I don't think we have Mr. DuPont ready for us yet. So let's instead bring up Mr. Jay Gutierrez. So let's bring him up first. All right, good evening, Mr. Gutierrez. You there?
Yeah.
Okay, so what states are in your radar tonight? Do you have any in particular?
Can you please repeat the question?
So what states are on your radar tonight? like to watch for the results of the election? Any in particular?
Florida.
Florida, okay. Any others that you have?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. So are you saying swing states then?
Yeah.
What could their outcomes mean in shaping the narrative of this election then?
Like it could mean more votes for one of the potential candidates.
Okay.
Or one of.
Okay. Do you have any idea as to how Senate and election results can impact the governing landscape in the foreseeable future?
No, not right now.
Not right now. Okay. And do you think there are any surprise factors that could contribute to any outcomes here?
Maybe more people will vote for the other person that, maybe people, maybe there will be an unexpected outcome and people will vote for a different person than the majority of the people think.
Okay. An update that I did get from the control room is that at 7 Eastern Time, the states of Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, South Carolina, and Virginia, the polls will be closing there soon. So we will report the result, of course, as they stream in to us. Do you have any predictions that you might make for this election?
I think that the current president that is in office right now will win the election because it seems like he has a lot of support and people will probably vote for him since he's the one that has been in office for a while.
So as it stands, the projection that you're making right now is against your own party.
Yeah.
Are you not confident that your nominee will win?
Well, he could win, but that is what I think.
Okay. Interesting. Do you have any projections for the House or Senate races?
I haven't really looked up that one yet, so I don't know.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you for joining the discussion tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come back and see us. All right. You heard it there from the congressman himself. He predicts that the incumbent will win re-election. Mind you, this is the most recent time since Lyndon Johnson was elected to the presidency that an incumbent vice president ascended to the office of president. And I believe, as mentioned yesterday during the presidential debate, Mr. Cuomo is the most recent leader in American history since Bob Dole to become a nominee by a major political party. So it'll definitely be an interesting race to see how things shape out. Any other panelists who would like to join, please just simply raise your hand and we will get you up on to the stage. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Someone, anybody. Hello, welcome up.
Thank you.
Yes. So you heard it from from the congressman. He says that the incumbent president will win. What's your response to that?
Well, my only response, as I stated it to you, and I will state this to everyone, I will be unbiased. My opinion is that whoever does get in office, whoever wins, will be good. I don't think it's a matter of abilities, it's a matter of who likes who. I mean, am I wrong?
Well, I don't know.
All I know is that if I look right now on my statistics, if I just look real quick, it seems pretty tied. You got some endorsements from major political parties swinging to different people, such as even for the Secretary of State to be president. But it seems like it's more split. See, I see one right there. It's more split between the president that I'm going to be under and President Rickles. All I know is this is going to be definitely a more closer one than the last election I was participating in.
Okay.
So,
Reflecting on the campaign approaches that we've seen, what strategies do you believe have paid off or fallen short based on the current awaiting of our results that we're expecting at any moment soon?
I think the independents, especially with the Republicans now taking independent votes, which is different from 2016 and 2018 in the Senate and presidential elections. I think this could really help swing states, which more people identify as independent than Republican or Democrat because they share both ideologies. I think even now that my state of Oklahoma has changed into a swing state because of this.
Mm-hmm. Are there any states that you have on your radar that you'll be watching tonight?
I would say Alaska, because Alaska and even Hawaii, they make up a decent portion of votes, but they feel underrepresented. So if we focus on them, we can pull in more votes from the people that feel underrepresented by representing them.
So you're saying that Alaska's considered potential swing state?
I think Alaska and the people of Alaska will always vote for whoever they think is the best. They vote with their heart.
And I'm not going to counter that, of course, but I mean, Alaska's being a swing state is definitely a surprising argument considering the last time that they voted for a Democrat was in 1964.
Of course, and that was for,
Lyndon Johnson.
of course,
yes.
LBJ.
Right. But do you think we're in any landscape where that could be a possible thing?
I think a lot of things are possible that weren't possible last election. I mean, if you look at Montana even and the Dakotas, they're starting to seem like they could turn out independent or even libertarian for this matter, which was different from the 2016 election where all of their representatives voted Republican.
Very interesting. Joining us now as well is Senator Edward DuPont. He is the current serving president pro tempore, I believe. So, Mr. DuPont, I ask you the same question.
Senator.
Mr. DuPont, I ask you the same question. Are there any states that you have on your radar tonight?
Yeah, there's some states on the radar right now. Some states we can see would probably be the Rust Belt region. You know, Cuomo's from the New England area, and one of the main states there is Pennsylvania. However, we've seen Pennsylvania switch up and down, so we could expect right now that maybe he might take Pennsylvania, but we also suspect that Rickles might take Michigan. Wisconsin is still there, and other states we're looking at is Arizona and Nevada and Georgia, and maybe even Florida. But right now, it really just depends on the hold with Congress, because we know some of the representatives are from those states, and we could see that them having an impact on who wins the election right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Senator Reagan, I'm going to have to agree with Senator DuPont because it seems like especially the Rust Belt and even the Bible Belt maybe could ultimately change how they are, because it seems, of course, now that most people, because Republicans used to be Democrats back in the 60s, that's just how it was. So more people are staying Democrat in those states that are typically Republican, which could mean more votes in our favor or even end up switching over, which is why more swing states have came this election. And Florida, I think, is a very good state to look out for. Even Texas, maybe.
Well,
Although Texas is strong Republican, it could be a.
I real quick want to go back to the past election. You know, we had Donald Trump and Francis Underwood. That election was a big landslide for.
I just want to interrupt quickly. Breaking headline: it's reported that someone has been stabbed at a Kentucky polling station. Is what is being reported to me by the control room. We will definitely monitor that situation as it is ongoing. Excuse me. As you two were saying, Mr. DuPont, I'll have to again ask you the same question. I forgot the question that I had asked earlier, but so do you see any way possible that the Senate and House results could impact the governing landscape in the foreseeable future here? All right, gentlemen, in less than a minute, we are to get the results from the race for the presidential election from the states of Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, South Carolina, and Virginia. We will definitely report those as they come into us.
Good luck to everybody, gentlemen. Down.
Don't be ghetto. Let's go, Cowboys. Woo!
Valid.
All right, good evening, America, and welcome back to this 2024 January presidential election coverage. The results, if you'll follow me over to the big board here where we have our lovely graphics. As we can call the races right now, the race stands that in the state of Florida, it is too close to call. Georgia is too close to call. The state of Indiana shall go to Mr. Rickles. The state of Kentucky will go to Mr. Rickles. South Carolina shall also go to Mr. Rickles, and the state of Virginia is too close to call. So, gentlemen, seeing the results come in, do you see any surprises there? Are there any certain things that jump out at you?
Oh, I don't see no surprises right there.
No.
You know, the South Side. Go for it.
The South was definitely going to vote Republican. I don't think anyone expected them to change that, except for possibly the Appalachians. But it's an expected thing with these types of elections. Everyone's going to vote with their family beliefs.
I do have another projection to make. As it stands currently, the state of Georgia will go to Mr. Virgil Rickles as well, bringing in a total of 4 states for him.
Wow. Yeah, I think that, you know, if Georgia was to go to Rickles, I don't think any of the other southern states will go towards to the Democratic side. You know, we see the South Central as probably the most solid red we've had. Same with the Atlantic, we could probably see along the lower states. Probably the only state I was even thinking of that might have switched would have been Georgia. Florida, maybe a little bit too close right now, but I think later on we'll see those ballots come in and it will go towards Rickles at the very end. Only one really in the Atlantic region is Virginia, as possibly the only safe state for Virginia, Maryland, for the safe states for the Democratic opponent.
I believe that the 5 most states that matter is going to be Washington, Oregon, California, Texas, and New York.
I will also break this headline at the moment that currently in exit polling, we are seeing an interesting trend that the Democratic nominee Blythe is ahead. I don't know what the implications are for that in the grand scheme of things, but that is the breaking news that I can report thus far. So, do you, either of you have a reaction to that news, gentlemen?
It's I wouldn't say expected, but I would say acknowledged because of my experience with the Senate and Congress and other leading factors during my time as vice president would possibly move votes in my favor.
Bringing now my co-host, Representative Hook Stratton. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad to have you here. As it stands right now, not a projection, but at the moment, the results coming in from the Commonwealth of Virginia are showing a slight tilt to Republican nominee Virgil Rickles. So we will, of course, monitor as that goes on through the night.
Ugh.
The control room is now updating me on this call from the Commonwealth of Virginia, and it is that the Commonwealth of Virginia will go to Mr. Virgil Rickles. So this is a live look at our map. The live look at the map, of course, says Indiana, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Commonwealth of Virginia, South Carolina, and Georgia in the Republican column. I believe that is almost all of the results that we were expecting in this hour. In the first batch, excuse me. I believe, yes. That is, yes. Oh, no, excuse me. We're still waiting on the results from Florida. So those, of course, will be reported as the night goes on.
Yeah, I don't.
Senator Reagan, are there any results from the northern states, such as Delaware, Rhode Island, New York?
No, we don't have any results out from there yet.
Okay.
But as it stands, those are the calls that we can make. Breaking now, apparently, there is refusal by a congressman to accept that the state of South Carolina went for Mr. Virgil Rickles, which is very shocking because I believe the last time the state of South Carolina went for a Democrat was probably back in 1964, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was actually 73, Senator.
76?
Yeah, I don't know where that representative is thinking of. South Carolina, it's North Carolina that usually switches, but right now we are expecting Rickles to take both of them.
Presidential, let me see. I'm gonna consult the
South
controller.
Carolina
You'd be
is
correct,
about
yes,
as red as Texas is.
You would be correct, actually. The last time South Carolina went Republican was in 1976. Breaking news from the control room. I've just received an update that the state of Florida will go for Mr. Matthew Cuomo.
Oh,
Which is a very interesting development, given the state, given the trends that the Commonwealth of Virginia has gone Republican and Georgia has gone Republican as well. It's very surprising to me that.
Very strange year, isn't it, senators?
No kidding. I mean, I don't know about
that
YouTube,
changes
but
a lot of things. That does change a lot of things. We were expecting Rickles to take that. We were expecting Rickles to take almost every state that Donald Trump took, which Donald Trump only lost New York, some of the northern states, and Illinois, and now
he only lost 6 states.
Yeah, we were expecting
Rhode Island, Delaware, New York, Maine, and Hawaii.
I'm really not understanding this trend that the state of Florida went Democrat in 2024. That
Florida's a very hard Republican state. They have a Republican governor, Republican Congress, and Republican senators.
Yeah, I don't.
Even on their state Congress.
So I don't know. Maybe had a switch of mind or something. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I really don't know. But that's the update that we have at the
Quite
moment.
This has a lot of impact, and this has a lot of questions of what might happen. This might be a close race after all than we expected. It might be if Florida went down, we could expect maybe other states to go out too.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how the state
I
of
think
Florida went this
I
way, but-
think the biggest shocking factor will be if New York does not vote Democrat, gentlemen.
If we see state of New York go Republican, I think that'll be perhaps one of the most shocking takeaways, as well as Florida. I mean,
I think that would be just as shocking as 9/11, gentlemen.
that's an interesting comparison to make. I mean, look at we go back to the big board, of course. The last time the Commonwealth of Virginia went Republican for a presidential election was 2004. 20 years in the making. We've been waiting to see if it would ever go back. The last time Florida ever went Democrat was in the year 2012. But I mean, even then, that was by narrow margins.
Quite.
So
This is a shocker. This is a pretty good shocker that we experienced. But I'm still believing that Rickles should take almost every other state that was.
Well, Florida has a lot of seats in the Electoral College, so.
well, that is true. I'm getting word now from the control room that we are going to have to rescind our call from the state of Florida. Unfortunately, the big board won't allow me to make a change on the color. So the color that you see on your screens right now is not accurate. The state of Florida has not gone to Mr. Cuomo after all. This apparently is a repeat of the 2000 election with Mr. Bush and Mr. Gore. So unfortunately, as I said, I cannot change the color on the map, but just keep in mind, Florida has indeed not gone to Mr. Gore, or Mr. Cuomo, excuse me.
Oh.
So that is a shocking development as well.
Well, this is...
The decision desk, of course, will make more calls as they are.
Now we have to answer the question: is Florida going to be the state that decides all?
Well, I don't know if I don't know if the math is there for the state of Florida to make that call. It is certainly.
I think
to watch.
that it will definitely be a lot, but I think California, New York, and Texas will be what decides it.
I don't know about Texas. I mean, Texas has been pretty hard Republican for a long, long time, and I don't think they're gonna switch up right away. We see in Texas, they're gonna have a new Republican governor. They're having Republican House. They have a strong Republican roots everywhere. So people have been saying that's been switching blue, but from time and time again, it's not been switching blue. They had O'Rourke, who was supposed to be the one to beat all, but lost by a landslide too. So we don't know.
Yep, it's quite a thing.
I am still believing that Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio, and Wisconsin might be the last deciders we'll choose, because Pennsylvania usually does take a while for it to call a race, and Arizona being the same thing too.
I do believe we have some breaking news, so if the control room wants to run the dramatic music for dramatic effect, of course, I am all in favor of that.
All the dramatic effects. Bow, bow, bow. this shit is a minute and 29 seconds.
Alright, if the control room wants to remove the music, we will get right into the calls. Alright, good evening, America. Welcome back to election January 2024. We have some important projections to make, and we will go over to the big board to do so. As of right now, the state of Alabama will go to Mr. Virgil Rickles. Connecticut is too close to call. Delaware is too close to call. Florida is too close to call. Illinois is too close to call. Maine is too close to call. Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan are all too close to call. Mississippi will go to Virgil Rickles. Missouri will go to Virgil Rickles. Nebraska, the state.
Okay, now that is shocking.
Will go to Mr. Rickles. New Hampshire is too close to call. New Jersey is too close to call. North Dakota is going to Mr. Rickles. Oklahoma is going to Mr. Rickles. Pennsylvania is too close to call. Rhode Island is too close to call. South Dakota will go to Mr. Rickles. Tennessee will go to Mr. Rickles. Texas is too close to call, and the District of Columbia is
Texas is too close to call?
going to Mr. Cuomo. I've lost it. Ignore the projection that was made on the District of Columbia here. There we go. Ignore the call that was made on Maryland. That is not accurate as of yet.
This is quite a shocker.
So, gentlemen, any live reaction by you on the state of this race?
Missouri.
Missouri's a big shock to you?
Very shocked about Missouri.
How is Missouri?
They usually vote Democrat. 1 month.
Really? You're saying Missouri goes Democrat?
Yes, it's indeed shocking. A lot of these states are confirming for Virgil Rickles, and the ones that are too close to call are states that you had seen the previous elections before that are fast and they count their votes and they're done. It's these states that you see previously that are count to the quick with the count are close to call this election, and you didn't see that last 2016 election with me and Donald Trump. Last election, it was just a landslide versus Donald Trump. I can admit that. But it's very interesting to see the different opinions that shifted from last election to this election, from 2016 to 2016 to 2020 and 2024. It's very interesting. And the states and the updates that are coming out are, especially for South Carolina, 2024 now, you would see, yes, it has a Republican governor. Yes, it has a swing Congress, but the citizens have made no doubt effort to try to flip it blue. And same with Florida. So when you said that Florida went to Cuomo and then repeated it to going to Virgil Rickles, that's not a shock there. As Florida currently now, you don't really know what is going on in Florida. They have a campaign for the Florida Democrats to take back Florida. So it really, this election will depend on whether or not the state parties actually helped the presidential candidates. And if they did, candidates.
I hate to interrupt you really quickly, but we do have some more projections to call from the desk here. So the state of Maryland is confirmed as going to Mr. Cuomo. The state of Delaware is confirmed as going to Mr. Cuomo. The state of Connecticut and Rhode Island will go to Mr. Cuomo. New Hampshire is going to Mr. Rickles. New Jersey is going to Mr. Cuomo. And then our final call from this column is going to be Massachusetts from for Mr. Cuomo. So I believe that's all the calls I've made as of yet. Oh, sorry, I didn't make Illinois. Illinois is going to...
Can we get an improved diagram?
An improved diagram? Yes. Everything on the board that you see is accurate with the exception of Florida, as Florida is not an accurate projection. So unfortunately, the call of Florida is not in play. Obviously, I mean, I'm just as shocked as all of you are, so feel free to make any comment that you have.
Oh, so Illinois swung Democrat. Well, we got Massachusetts too. Now we just need to see how New York swings out.
Mm. Mr. Underwood, do you have any? Does anything in this map as of right now shock you?
I mean, like I said before, it really just depends on whether the state Democrats of that state helped out the presidential elections, and if they did, it will boost the presidential candidates. And currently, with the polling data coming out, it is shocking. You see a much more big aim and support for Cuomo than you did last presidential election.
Let me see where we are at on the current. Let me see here. So from any of you, from the insights that we have on voter turnout, is there anything that can be learned as of that?
Sorry, repeat the question.
Is there anything that we can learn from the voter turnout?
Well, the southern states definitely didn't skip.
What's that?
Hey, Hookstratton, would you mind changing Florida back to gray? Thank you.
Yes, I will make sure to update that. Yes, indeed. Florida is too close to call, so on the big board that we have here, we're going to call it the. What should we call the big board? Let's call it. Does anybody have an idea as to what to call this big board? Because I don't know. Anyways, on the big board here,
The
Florida
diagram.
The diagram. That's a terrible name. The big board. The big board is indeed incorrect with the calling of Florida. Unfortunately, the technology is stuck in 1984, so we can't change the color because color is expensive. So.
Oh, well, color was changed to gray.
The official website that Fox News is maintaining right now is correct. The coverage on your television right now is slightly incorrect. So I will stand in front of Florida here so nobody can see it. There we go. That makes everything better.
Yeah, just put that ass right in front of
We're on live television.
Florida.
Keep yourself under control.
Sorry, that's my fault.
We are on live television.
that's my fault, Senator.
All right, let's see.
My wife walked in. I mean, my husband walked in front of the TV.
Ooh.
My OC's a woman. I'm not gay.
Anyways, let's get back on track.
Mr. DuPont, do you have any commentary to make as of yet on the latest ballot?
Ah, my ears.
Oh,
I believe we might have
ABC
calls
News. No.
made. ABC News? That is blasphemy. You know what we really need for the music? We need like the theme music from Pirates of the Caribbean. I think that would be a fantastic addition to the program.
That's actually a great idea, Senator.
So, Mr. DuPont, before we got before we had our little music break, did you have any
Oh
commentary?
shit!
oh. So from looking at the map, we can see right now that the Republicans have a majority right now, but it's not until we get to the
How the-
Atlantic area where We'll see.
How
that
is
Carol Carter-
Nebraska Republican? I'm sorry, how?
Nebraska's always been Republican.
No, they haven't. They've always been Democrat.
Calm down. You know, we've seen their election polls, and they've always leaned towards Republican. And you know, they're a small state. Usually,
They've
they
leaned
favor
towards, but yeah, they well, maybe
usually
I'm
they
confusing
favor-
it with Kansas.
You are confused. Yes, you are. Usually, they lean
Kansas.
towards
Kansas is
president.
always Democrat, though.
I don't even know the last time
Kansas is
Nebraska
not.
went for the Democratic column. North Kansas.
What we'll see is all this middle area is going to be red. That's a fact. You know, Texas right now is too close to call, but that's just mainly because there's a lot of people. But we'll see. We'll likely
Yeah.
see Texas go towards the red column. It's not until the Atlantic area. Once their polls are closed, that's what we'll
I
see.
think the more we
a
get
lot
out
of-
west, though, the more you're going to see blue.
It's towards the Atlantic region. That's where we're going to see it level out, and after that, we're going to go back towards the Northeast, where the Rust Belt region and possibly North Carolina.
Well, I mean, nothing is for certain until the calls are made, and that's just the way that it is, right? I mean, you see the entirety of almost the entirety of the everything east of the Mississippi River here. That's where the majority of the U.S. population lies.
Right.
That's if a candidate were to win all of the states that were east of the Mississippi River. I mean, granted, all of the states, the candidate would win. It doesn't matter what they would win out here, because this is less than 270 out here. So
Right.
from
Well,
Minnesota into Alaska, it's less than the majority of the United States population.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. You know, Alaska won't really matter that much, but we can see if the election does get close. It will start to matter, but we can see is California being a too close to call election, because last election we had Trump gain that state. So we can see it now going back towards the Democratic side. It really just depends, but you know, it also depends on the virtual support. But we didn't have any polls before, any pollsters saying what's favorability or unfavorability. I don't know what that is. So someone should let me know what's the favor slash unfavor percentage that the president has right now.
I don't know the president's approval ratings at the moment,
Right.
but coming now from the control room, the decision desk can make a projection, and it is that the state of Arkansas will go for Mr. Virgil Rickles. So you're
Yep.
basically seeing this.
Well, Arkansas has always been red.
Well, you're seeing this continued trend, I think, where the Solid South is continuing its Republican trend. I mean, the last time a Democrat won the Solid South was 1976. Like we noted, how South Carolina went blue. I think the last time Arkansas went Democrat was in 1992.
34. 33.
No, I think it was 92. Bill Clinton.
What we can see is that
Oh yeah, Arkansas did vote Clinton in '92.
1996. So I think into the control room for that
He
update.
was the governor. He was the governor for that, so that was more of his home state winning. But
Yeah.
what we can see, if we
That's
group them up into regions, you can see the South Central is going to go straight. Maybe almost all of it go towards Rickles. What we're going to relook at is the Atlantic, where we have Florida, Georgia.
Well, I think the closer we get to
Pennsylvania.
the Pacific is when you'll see it start to change colors.
Well, the Pacific, I think Pacific is going to go almost all, if all, go towards the Democratic nominee.
Well, it was my understanding that the election would be called by the regions. So I
okay.
anticipated going with
Right.
Northeast, but instead we've gone by the closing by state times, which is really interesting.
Senator Reagan, would you mind DMing me with important? Because I must go attend other matters. Not that
Yeah.
important.
Push by. Well, thank you,
What we
Senator.
can re-
Thank you for
What we
joining.
can really see. Oh, go for my bad.
Oh, I was just thanking you for joining.
Good luck to everyone. It is my hope, it is my belief that everyone here will definitely get into a good office that they definitely deserve. And I believe that whoever does win the election will still be good in office. But what we need is productivity and cooperation between the Senate and the House. Otherwise, nothing will get done, even with the executive branch.
All right. That was definitely an interesting stump speech, I believe.
You're right.
Well,
Right. What we can see is the New England region is going to be where most of the swing states are going to be at. You know, we have the Rust Belt, Pennsylvania, and then when we're looking down the Atlantic, we can probably see North Carolina being the only one. Maryland, I believe.
well,
Oh, Maryland's already called.
Yes.
good luck to you, Vice President Beauregard. Good luck, President Riggles. May either one win.
Alrighty. As it stands right now, we have some new projections to make. The state of Arizona is too close to call. The state of Colorado will be going to Mr. Cuomo. The state of Iowa will be going to Mr. Rickles. The state of Kansas will be going to Mr. Rickles. Louisiana as well. Michigan is too close to call. Maryland, we have already called that for Mr. Cuomo. Massachusetts, we've already called for Cuomo. Minnesota is too close to call. Nebraska, we've called. New Mexico is too close to call. New York is too close to call. North Dakota and South Dakota have gone to Mr. Rickles. Texas is too close to call. Wisconsin is too close to call. And the state of Wyoming shall go to Mr. Rickles.
Wow. What about
And
West
another.
Virginia?
Oh, go ahead.
What about West Virginia? Where are we on that?
Actually, I have a call to make on that right now. West Virginia is going to Mr. Rickles. The state of Ohio is going to Mr. Rickles, and the state of North Carolina is going to Mr. Rickles.
Wow. So he finally won all the Atlantic.
Almost.
Oh, besides Maryland.
Well, he won all of the Atlantic coast.
Minus Maryland.
Well, and Delaware. The region. You're right. Yes.
Right.
So with the region of the Atlantic, he's won everything with the exception of Maryland, Delaware, and the District of Columbia.
Mm-hmm. So that is fascinating results. You know, many pundits were saying that Georgia and Virginia might go back to Cuomo, but we can see that it has not happened. I mean, like I said, there was no approval ratings we had on Rickles, so you know it might be showing now that without these approval ratings, because literally we won't even know who's winning. But what we can see right now is maybe this might be a landslide victory right now.
Another new projection that we can drop right now is that the state of New Mexico is going to Mr. Cuomo. So we're slowly filling in the map as it goes along throughout the night. Really, we're just waiting on a couple stragglers from the Great Lakes region, and we're still waiting on the rest of the New England region, and then we have, of course, the rest of the Mountain and Pacific regions to fill in as well.
Right.
And I believe there's only one state, the state of Texas, to report from the state of from the South Central region. You're right. Yes.
Yes. You know, I believe in my state will stay with Rickles. I believe that state, from what the people I talk to, that they will. Most of them are pretty excited with Rickles for his second term. You know, we haven't had a president for 2 terms in a long time, so they're excited to have finally a precedent made with a 2-term president. You know.
I think the last time Texas went to a Democrat was in '76 as well. Is that correct? I think. I honestly don't have it off the top of my head. Yeah, I think '76 was the last time that Texas went blue. Which is really interesting because considering in 2020 it was getting hyped up to go blue as well. But it hasn't played out that way. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what call is made from that state.
Yeah, the last time was May 76.
Yeah. Okay. So as it stands right now, the Democratic nominee Blythe is leading the Republican VP pick in polling. Again, we don't know what that'll mean for the general election or the certification of Congress. But that is something that we can point out currently by a 3-point margin, which is actually really surprising. Looking at the ballot, if you voted today, you might have noticed that it was divided into 2 questions, a presidential ballot and then a vice presidential ballot, which is pretty irregular. Senator, have you ever noticed anything like that at all in your voting history?
No, this is one of the first times I believe this change. Could, but at the same time, it is a duo, so I'm sure that both the president elect and vice president elect will be for the same ticket.
Clear the air. The control room is correcting me that the VP ballot was an opinion poll. It has no bearing on the results of the election.
Ah,
So-
okay.
So yes, that is my mistake.
That's gonna confuse a lot
that
of
is
people.
what's that?
I think that's going to confuse a lot of people.
Yeah, no kidding. So yes, as it stands, the VP portion of the ballot was just an opinion poll and will not have any bearings on the result of the election. So that's just a clear up.
I do want to say something
yeah.
real quick. That
Go ahead.
we just breaking news happened on CNN about the 6-week abortion ban made by the New England region. They passed the House of Representatives passed a 6-week abortion ban. This could really change a lot on the deciding of vote. We had to know that a lot of regional governors are pushing on abortion ban, and some were not pushing on abortion ban. Some are pushing on to have abortion legal. So we could see that being a outcome for the electoral for the presidential election. A lot of the northeastern states, like the Rust Belt region, do support abortion. Like Ohio, we saw, but it turned into Republican. But we could see maybe other ones might be having a lot of decisions based on abortion issues. So we don't know.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt, Senator, but the decision desk has some important calls to make right now. The state of Idaho is too close to call. The state of Montana is going to Mr. Rickles. The state of Nevada is going to Mr. Rickles. Oregon is too close to call, and Utah will also be going to Mr. Rickles. We also go ahead.
The one thing I could say is it's Rickles to lose. He has had the backing from the Donald Trump from the last election, where it was a landslide victory. So all it is Rickles to lose. He's making sure to play. He's making sure to keep the states that he won, while the Cuomo is trying to gain states. So it's a little harder for Cuomo to win this, but it is possible. But right now, it is looking slowly more likely that Rickles will win the presidency again.
Okay. Also, just another clarification by the control room. The states that haven't been called yet, that are too close to call, they are currently underway with their counting. Florida is still counting, but it is trending to Mr. Rickles. New York is still counting, and it's trending to Mr. Rickles. Texas, Arizona, they are still counting, but they are trending to Mr. Cuomo at the moment. So we will see if those trends still hold. But at the moment, we're not going to make any calls on those 4 states as it leans. Apparently, breaking is the demographics from exit polls are showing that in Texas, Mr. Cuomo has pulled support from Hispanic voters, and in Florida, Mr. Rickles has pulled support from Cuban voters. So we'll definitely see again if those trends continued. As you were saying, Senator.
Well, this is very irregular. I personally, as a Hispanic as well, people have been saying that Hispanics are mostly Democrats. Well, in the last governor elections, Senate elections, presidential elections, Hispanics were the ones that carried the vote. Hispanics are a majority in Texas now, and we still have Republican leaders. So this is a little irregular for Texas to turn blue because of Hispanics. Hispanics are usually the kicker, but usually more the black population versus Democrats. But what we've been seeing is Texas has been constantly red. So this is very regular for Texas. Usually the Valley region does vote a little bluish, but it has been turning red and red. So I don't think this is going to be Texas blue. I'm not too sure, but I mean, it could happen. It could very happen, but I don't think the polls have in the past have shown that it was going to be red all the time. But this is a little shocker.
Of course, I'm going to make some projections and calls at the moment. California right now is too close to call. Counting is ongoing there. Idaho, the rest of the state has been counted, and it will go to Mr. Rickles. As it stands, Oregon is too close to call, and Washington is also too close to call. Those states are currently counting as it is. So we will definitely report those results once they have been called. So, Mr. DePont, I have to ask you: do you see any path forward with the remaining states at play for either candidate to win?
Well, for Rickles, all he really got to win is Texas. Texas, can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
All he really's got to win is Texas, the Rust Belt region, and that's game over. Because what we can expect is, pretty much Alaska. All he needs is Alaska, and that's pretty much the safe red states. Texas, which is getting a little contentious, but he's gonna win Texas, Pennsylvania, one of the Rust Belt states, and he wins it. With one Rust Belt state plus Texas and Alaska, and that's game. And we could probably see. Well, I think it's one Rust Belt state, maybe another one, but for a safe state, I think maybe Michigan might be the swing state, the one that decides. For Rickles, for Cuomo, he's really cannot let any states go towards Rickles at this point. He needs to win Hawaii, he needs to win Arizona, Texas, Washington, not Colorado, California, Oregon, all the Rust Belt states, New York and Maine, and that right now is proving fatal. Actually, yeah, New York is turning to Rickles, correct?
I believe that's what. Yeah, at the moment, yes.
Then maybe he doesn't need to win a Rust Belt state. He could just get New York, and that's game over.
I mean, we'll see. In a shocking turn of events, actually, in Oregon, Washington, and California, so the entirety of the Pacific West Coast right now, Katie Porter has shockingly done well with write-in ballots. So I don't know how that's going to impact the results of those three states that I've just listed, but I mean, we're still waiting on the results in Washington, Oregon, California, Alaska. Yes, the control room is reminding me, yes, that she did not even run, wasn't on any official ballot, and she is a write-in candidate. So yes, thank you, control room, for that. So yeah, as I was saying, we're still waiting on Washington, Oregon, California, Alaska, Arizona, Hawaii, Texas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, and Maine. I don't know if we got a call on Vermont earlier. Did we get a call on that? Asking control room if we had a call there. Okay, we have a call to make on Maine that is going to Mr. Cuomo, which is a very shocking turn of events. I'm surprised that the 2nd Congressional District of Maine didn't go for Mr. Rickles. It's actually really interesting. It's light blue. Okay. Well, I don't have the ability to do split districts or anything on the map as of yet, but currently Congressional District 2 is carried very lightly by Mr. Cuomo. And again, yes, Florida is too close to call. So there is that. It's a very shocking night to see everything unfold, to be completely honest with you. I don't recall the last time we've seen anything like this.
I mean, yeah, it is a shocker, but this has been our reality for many of the past election years. But with Donald Trump from the last election year, it shows a change, and it's a shocker change. We were expecting a similarity towards last election year, but well, we'll have to find out.
In a shocking turn of events, we can officially call the state of Washington for Miss Porter. I'm not going to be able to change it on the map because, unfortunately, the color will not allow me to. But as it stands, the state of I understand that, but yes, at the moment, I cannot change the color to either to a third party. It's only blue or red. That's what the map is programmed as. So yes, we're going to keep it gray to signify that it has gone to Miss Porter. The official website will have it as a different color, but yes, at the moment it is going to. Oh, well, how did that happen? It just turned yellow.
Uh,
Did the control room not tell me something? At the moment, we can also say that New York is now trending Mr. Cuomo's direction.
It was
Um,
that's something we were expecting. You know, they wanted last election, and we could see it still being super hard on Democratic, and you know that the incline is expected.
Interesting. Is someone changing my map? What is the control room doing here? Okay. As it stands, yeah, you can see here the state of Washington has gone to Miss Porter. New York is trending very lightly blue, though we shouldn't be making any changes to the color on New York as of yet, because it should still just be blank. Very interesting what happened in Washington.
Yeah, I mean that really the one who is affected by it is Cuomo. He needs to win
Yeah,
every state, and now he's lost the state, but not towards Rickles, but towards a third party candidate. So you know,
very it's very interesting.
that's not where Washington is. That's Oregon.
Yep, that's Oregon. We'll have to. The control room doesn't know geography. That's not very surprising. But anyways, yes, we'll.
AI at its finest, y'all. AI at its finest.
We will have to adopt a new budget and make the big board better. So that ought to be fun. Yeah. Truth be told, I didn't even know there were write-in movements allowed in Washington or other places.
I didn't either. I didn't know that either. But what I do know is that Katie Porter can't win this election.
I mean, it definitely throws a wrench.
There is not enough states to make her get 270.
Well, no, but I mean, it definitely does throw a wrench into plans for, Mr. Rickles or Mr. Cuomo.
Right, it does, but she won't be able to win it at a shot. Cuomo and Rickles are still able to win this.
I mean, we will have to see. So yeah, explaining really quickly how the big board works is that so basically I just click on one of these states here. I'll click on one that's already counted. I click it and it'll go. Oh no! Somebody messed it up. Oh, we've been messed up. Oh, never mind. Okay, so yeah, I just click it and it goes blue or red. Oh, no.
We have some breaking news right now from different news networks. We have the Mountain Region. It has approved Proposition 1 to ban abortion in the state constitution. These decisions can affect the outcome of this election.
As of right now, we can project that Oregon is going to go to Mr. Cuomo. California is also trending for Mr. Cuomo, but we cannot make a call there.
All right. Well, actually, Montana, the Mountain Region, has banned abortion entirely.
It has? That's an interesting development.
Yep, that is.
Let me see here. Matthew Cuomo is calling for a state recount in the state of Washington, so that'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, it is. We got we have a lot of news that are going on during this election, and we still have Alaska, who has not finished counting votes. So people can switch
I
their
did
minds
wanna-
all of a sudden.
yep. I just want to go ahead and publicly shame the control room for breaking my big board that I worked so hard on. Even though it's 40 years old, shame on you for breaking my big board. I worked so hard on it.
Actually, want to get out of breaking news. The
Yeah.
Matthew Cuomo, the Democratic nominee for president, has tweeted that he wants a state recount for Washington. This
That is
is
the
Matthew
report,
Cuomo
yeah.
underscore AF. I hereby call for a state recount for Washington.
I mean, definitely we're going to have to see what Washington going to Miss Porter does for the national. So, I mean, for the race, I mean, we're going to have to see what it does in terms of the certification by Congress.
Yeah.
That I don't know if that gets certified successfully or if it's objected to. I think the last time a state was successfully objected to, I don't even know. I mean, every year each Congress, for these proceedings sees an objection, but I don't know if there's an official.
Yep. Now, I do want to.
Go ahead.
I do want to bring up some statistics. Currently, from the FSC voter statistics, the voter turnout from the last election has went down by 4%. So we could see maybe a lot of Virgil Rickle supporters not coming up to vote, or maybe Cuomo supporters not going to vote. A lot of things are going on.
So a current trend that I will point out is that Florida is trending for Mr. Rickles. Texas is trending for Mr. Cuomo, I think.
Still?
I think. I don't know. I can't tell. And then New York is trending for Mr. Cuomo as well. We did call Montana for Mr. Rickles, yes. New Hampshire, we're entirely changing the call on New Hampshire? Oh, okay. Vermont is, yes, okay. So Vermont is now called to, we can now call the state of Vermont for Mr. Cuomo. I think we're having, I think the control room got into my leftover Christmas goodies. So
I do want to go down to Arizona real quick. If we go down to the counties of each, we can see all the counties looking pretty much the same. But only county that we really could see that would be the decider for Arizona is Maricopa County, which is currently leaning towards Cuomo. But we could see if flipping, maybe it could possibly flip. They still not even 50% of the votes have been counted, from Maricopa County. So that could easily change up. In Texas, we can see pretty much everything looking the same. Houston, Dallas, most of the center cities are leaning towards Democratic areas, but Dallas has been switching up towards Republican. But now we go down to South, which is what is really deciding a lot of what's going on. The RGV, El Paso, pretty much full-on Democratic. It has been Democratic forever. What we can see in the RGV region, Willacy County, Hidalgo County, all those areas. Currently, not even almost all the votes are even counted towards, So those votes, it's still too close to call because they're not even counted yet. Once they're counted, it will pretty much decide who would win, Only Cuomo has a 0.2% lead on Rickles, I believe. I'm not too sure what's the lead, but yeah, we're still expecting more to be voted, more to be counted.
All right.
Oh, and with Florida, we got Miami-Dade for Florida, which is still being contentious.
As it stands, we can now officially call Alaska for Mr. Rickles, and Hawaii is going to Mr. Cuomo. So that ends all the. So that just leaves the remaining states in the contiguous United States. Also to report, Pennsylvania is trending for Mr. Cuomo. Wisconsin and Michigan are trending for Mr. Rickles, and then Minnesota is trending for Mr. Cuomo. Still no
Alright.
calls to make on the remaining states that of New York, Florida, Texas, Arizona, and California. But
Breaking
again, we'll
news,
make calls as we go
hold
on.
on. I got a breaking news. So in the Pacific region,
Breaking
state of
news.
Washington, they have agreed to conduct the recount.
They've agreed to conduct a recount. Breaking news, we can now confirm that the state of Florida is going to Mr. Rickles indeed. So that is the biggest development out of the race thus far. Considering all night we've seen a sort of back and forth going on with this race here.
I can say that the Florida Democrats have worked hard to get Matthew Cuomo to win this state, and that Cuomo has campaigned hard not only across Florida but across the United States, and so is Virgil Rickles. The response on the recount is, I think that Cuomo is trying to, and as a DNC member, it might sound bad, but I think Cuomo's just trying to a Kari Lake moment, if you know what I mean, trying to save his ass. But I think that the recount, once done, will stay with Katie Porter, which once again is amazing, as she is independent. Bad thing for Cuomo and Rickles, but we can't that done.
I just real quick want to go towards Florida with the Miami-Dade. That decided Florida to go towards Rickles because of Miami-Dade. It went to Rickles from there.
Okay.
We have some new projections to make, and that is that in a shocking turn of events, last minute, white voters and black voters alike have gone for Mr. Rickles. So we can now call the state of Texas for Mr. Rickles, and we can now call the state of Arizona for Mr. Rickles. So I don't know if that remaining. This looks very similar to the 2000 election map, if we're being completely serious. So our projection is that Mr. Rickles will win the presidential election, and of course our coverage will remain as we call these last few states here. But as it is, Mr. Rickles appears to have won the presidency.
That is true. That is correct. With Texas going, and then with Arizona, Arizona was the one that called the election for Rickles. Because we can see Maricopa County now solidly in the red column, and we can see Texas, the Valley region, still light blue, but we can see a lot of the whiter voters in those areas finally called, and what it gave Texas towards Rickles. Which we can also see Texas, or we can see the South Central region being the only region in total that it went towards for Rickles. None of the other regions have all states go towards a candidate. South Central went all towards Rickles. From Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and Kentucky. So that's some fascinating results. Very fascinating.
Breaking news apparently is now that the New England Supreme Court orders a recount for possible election fraud. So that'll be interesting to watch. A correction that I must make to my claim earlier is that the only difference in the map here from 2000 is that instead of winning Colorado, Mr. Rickles instead won Iowa.
Okay.
So that's the major swap here. But the map is still very similar to the 2000 presidential election map.
Right. And like I said, not even all the states are even called yet, and there's states that are doing recounts now, so we could see more going to Rickles or more going to Cuomo. New England area is pretty much, I believe they're going to recount. I'm not too sure.
I don't know.
What I said earlier was that Cuomo needs to win every state, and he did not, and that's what made Cuomo lose this election.
I mean, we definitely saw some swings back. From the previous election, from the red to back to the blue column. Breaking news, we can make some more calls here. California has officially gone for Mr. Cuomo. Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan can be projected for Mr. Rickles. So again, that is Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan going for Mr. Rickles.
So the
But
Rust
really,
Belt
there's-
region.
Yeah. So now there's just 2 remaining states to call. But I mean, as it stands, Mr. Rickles has won the presidential election. The last 2 states. I mean, okay. And our final projection is that New York is going for Mr. Cuomo, and Pennsylvania is going for Mr. Cuomo.
You can see Scranton going towards being the kicker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, New
Um,
York, which was previously Democratic, switched to Republican, and now pretty much solid. It was a pretty close election, though.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it was definitely one that kept us on our toes. I think the biggest shock on this map is that a write-in candidate performed so well and actually won a state.
Right.
I mean, you only usually see that in Senate elections or local elections, not the presidential election.
Last time was Theodore Roosevelt, and a third-party candidate that got a lot of votes last time, but didn't get
yeah.
no election was Ross Perot.
Pending
Now
the
we're
recount.
waiting on Rickles now to give his electoral speech. His victory speech.
I don't know if we're going to have coverage of that. I don't know if Mr. Rickles is going to give a speech tonight, but we will definitely take you to it if we get any coverage of that.
Right. Now here's what I'm not expecting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not expecting Cuomo to say the race is over. He asked for a recount in Washington. He might ask for a recount in Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, Florida, Texas, even the Rust Belt states. He might want to recount for all of them, and it very much depends on the Supreme Court now that they allowed recount happen. So we can call it now, but I don't know.
If I can interrupt, yes, we do have a breaking report that after the recount in Washington, the state officials there can confirm that Katie Porter did indeed win the state by a landslide, which is, of course, in itself shocking because, as we stated throughout the night, nobody would have expected a write-in candidate to win a state. Honestly, despite the back and forth between all of these states throughout the night, I think the biggest shock to me is the fact that Washington went for a write-in candidate.
Yeah, I mean, and Washington is not a small city; it's a big city.
Right.
But what we're gonna have to do is all the New England area. We're gonna have to take all that off the map now because it's all gonna have to be recounted.
Oh, we're taking off the New England projections here.
Yeah, the Supreme Court ordered a whole recount for the region.
Well, we better keep. We have to keep Maryland and
Delaware.
Delaware in blue. Yeah, no, Maryland and Delaware went Democrat. But as it stands, yes, we're removing our calls on the New England region as the Supreme Court of New England has ordered a recount. As the results come in from that, we will bring you the results. And the latest development we can bring to you is Katie Porter finished in second place in Oregon and California, which is very shocking. That, again, a third party a write-in candidate performed so well. But it's not surprising in the least bit that a Republican performed so poorly on the West Coast. Just
right.
It's a trend there.
Right, it is a trend, but it's a very steep trend in 4 years for California, Oregon, and Washington. Once going red to all going out blue and one independent.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last time the three states went red was in 1984, and the last time California and Oregon at least went red was 1988, maybe. I know California last went red in 1988, but I think maybe the last time Oregon went blue was or red was 84.
You know what I'm expecting, actually? I'm expecting maybe Katie Porter getting some of the New England states. Now thinking about it, she might gain the small ones. Now that the recount happened, it could
that is
happen.
true.
It really could happen now that the recount happened. I don't know which lawyer from what party asked for the recount, but if it was from Katie Porter, then she might take, if anything, second place. Or just really mess up Cuomo's count,
Yeah, I know. I really don't know what is to be expected of the night, considering we have to wait for the New England recount. But I believe, given the current map, it is safe to say that Mr. Rickles has indeed won the presidency. I don't know if a recount will change that. And again, we will bring you his victory speech if he, of course, delivers one tonight, and if Mr. Cuomo has a concession speech to deliver tonight as well. We will bring that to you.
Right, I just want to say that the governor has not of New England has not commented on the recount area, which would be expected that they might ask the governor might respond or something, but he has not responded.
I mean, the governor can cry about it all he wants. The election results are the election results, and what comes down to it is the Supreme Court ordering a recount. The governor can sit there and say, "Oh, I voted for Katie Porter. I voted for all the." Good. No one asked for who you vote for. You are one out of thousands and millions of citizens that live in your region. So it's just, I think this is just going to make the governor look bad. He's sitting there trying to say he speaks for all when we all know he doesn't. But I like the PPT said, Senator Edwards said, it's all going to come down to the Supreme Court. This election does look like it's going towards Virgil Rickles, which, I mean, I was a Cuomo fan, but it does look like it's going to Virgil Rickles. So
Wait, hold up real quick. Hold up. Even if all the New England states did not go to Rickles, he still wins, correct? I'm pretty sure he still wins.
I believe so. Yes, I believe so.
Yeah,
because the only state that
it does look like a Rickles second term is going to happen.
I mean, the only state in the New England region that went for Mr. Rickles was New Hampshire. So even then, yes, I believe he would indeed win the presidency. There are now allegations by the Cuomo campaign that the governor is personally involved in trying to influence the election, change the outcome, and he's also chanting "Stop the recount." So that'll be that's an interesting thing to see. I don't think that's something we've seen since the Trump campaigns, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Is that Catherine Durant? Oh my gosh, we need to get Catherine Durant in here. She always has something funny to say about Pedro from Taco Bell, I think. So let's see if we can get a call from Catherine Durant. She should have some good insight on this race here. Mr. Durant, are you there?
Hello.
What are your thoughts on the current presidential election results?
Virgil Tickles is a good man. I fully support him. I have a question. What the absolute hell is wrong with this Francis Underwood's arms, and why do they look dislocated?
I have no idea.
They tried. They said do it at an angle, and it went horribly wrong. The portrait guy.
Do it at an angle.
You look like you're getting ready to try out for the Special Olympics in some. What is it called where you throw shit in the Olympics?
Javelin.
Yeah, that.
Javelin, shot put, one of the two. So, Mr. Rant, did you take Pedro from Taco Bell to the polling booth today?
Can you repeat the question?
Did you take Pedro from Taco Bell to the polling booth today?
I took Pedro and his 50 relatives to the voting booth. We all voted for Virgil Tickles, and then we stopped by and had some healthy
Quesadillas
Mexican
and fajitas.
cuisine. Yes.
Fajitas, quesadillas.
Coincidence. Breaking news, we can make some new calls here. In a shocking turn of events after the recount has been ordered by the New England Supreme Court, what we can confirm to you now is that Katie Porter, a writing candidate, has won the states of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut by a slight margin. We don't know if they took away votes from the Democratic nominee, Mr. Cuomo, but we can confirm to you, as we just said, the states of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut did go for Ms. Porter. And then Pennsylvania. Go ahead.
I just want to ask, where is Miss Porter's face?
I have no idea.
I mean, you have
It
a congressman.
It was shot off in a tragic wartime accident.
Oh, somebody dare took down Mr. Rant. How dare you? Mr. Rant is a honored guest. She will be covering all future elections with me from now on. And we can also project, of course, tonight that Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey have, after their recounts, have given more votes to Mr. Cuomo. So those are the newest projections that we can make. I don't think we, at the moment, have any projections to make on the states of New Hampshire, Maine, or Vermont. So I think we're still waiting on the recounts there.
Well, it was a shocker. I mean, Cuomo lost. He lost electoral votes.
I think this has been the most shocking presidential election that we've seen in a long time.
Leader Cuomo was crying like a little girl, like he did last night when he interrupted me 10 times during the debate. 10 times. Little girl.
Ms. Durant, are you able to talk?
We can't hear you, Kathy.
I must say that it's a very shocking turn of events. We still can't hear you, Mr. Durant. You might have to fix your connection. You might have to exit out of your Discord and then get back on. Yeah.
Kathy Durant is a victim.
No kidding. When's the last time a third party won this many states? I think 1912?
What was the last time somebody what?
1916?
The last time somebody won this many states was me in 2016.
Hello, welcome back. No. The last time a third party won any electoral votes was like 19.
It was George Wallace.
That was like 1840.
Hello, can you hear me?
1968.
Hear you, yes.
George.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
It was George C. Wallace.
You're correct. The
Hello.
segregationist. Hello,
Yes,
welcome
I
back.
can hear you.
I just want to say the radical left cannot defeat my patriotism and my voice.
We love Kathy Durant.
I think I'll be instructing the Attorney General to look into recounts, or to be advising governors to do recounts in the state of Pennsylvania. There's a lot of voter fraud there for Cuomo voters.
I just want to say I was admin abused by the faceless secretary.
No. Stop. Come on. Oh, come on.
Speaks about the face, so don't speak about it.
Hello?
Hello, welcome back.
Wait, did Beauregard win?
Yeah, actually, breaking. We've reported on that. The VP poll was just an opinion poll and actually had no bearings on the race whatsoever.
What was the poll?
What was that?
What was the finals? What were the final statistics?
I don't know what the final statistics were on that. Excuse me. And I don't know. I don't know what the statistics were on the betting odds as well for this election. But I definitely know that there's going to have to be some changes that
All
are
right,
made.
one moment. Let me pull out my calculator.
Oh, I can make an update to that statement just now, and it is that Beauregard won the VP poll by two votes. So there's that.
America loves Christopher Beauregard.
So he
I
did
would
14 votes for
actually
him
like
and 12 for the other.
Hold on one
You
sec.
like a what?
54, 8,
Wow. It was 14-12, the VP poll.
5,
Mhm. So
19,
very close, very close. The
I do
presidential
wanna-
election. Got
19,
I do want to make sure to remind statistics. The
28.
voter turnout from this year compared to last year's was 4%, down by 4%. And
Mhm.
you can see that currently now Rickles has won the presidency. What's his name? Matthew Cuomo being second, and
So 176 votes
Porter being third.
for the Democrats. All right, please hold on. Hold on a moment. Please remember that
Mhm.
number, 176 for the Democrats.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot 4. So actually 180. Sorry.
Oh,
I didn't see Hawaii.
180. That's a very interesting number.
All right. 11.
Better than Mondale.
Oh yeah.
Shit, this is more difficult with all the fucking states.
Mathematics is hard.
Very.
Quite.
That's coming from a teacher, too.
Alright, he already won. He
Okay,
had
you shut
188, even without like all the fucking other northern states.
Okay.
I have 318 electoral votes.
May I see the vice president fucking thing? Can I actually see it?
It was the final vote on the vice president thing was 14-12 in Beauregard's favor.
But it had no bearing on the
It had
the race.
The radical.
We're still waiting on New Hampshire, Vermont to be called, by the way.
That is whoa, that is
Winning
correct.
big, winning
What
big.
happened to Maine? We didn't make any projections on Maine, did we?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't recall.
The
No, we didn't
radical
make the
left under Katie Abuse Porter wants to
Hey,
silence.
no, Kathy. Katie Porter is not a radical leftist. That's the other folks, okay? She's a diehard conservative, okay?
Is she really? Then why does she not believe in free speech?
Kathy, come on, just let Kathy be up here. Kathy, fine. Well, apparently
Kathy is a school teacher, and we'll sue you.
Apparently, we can make some calls here. Vermont is going for Mr. Cuomo. New Hampshire is staying in the column for Mr. Rickles, and Maine now apparently is going for
Miss
Porter. So this has definitely been a shocking turn of events.
120. Yeah.
So, yeah, 318 electoral votes for Virgil Rickles. 185. I said that 318.
I count 320.
318, 320. I don't know.
On a bigger
185.
election one.
This is definitely a change from the previous election, but
I don't care. I won.
you definitely wanted a term in your own right. So yeah, there's that.
All right.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Thank you.
We definitely. Oh wow. The presidential election was 16-12, so we can confirm that Virgil Rickles won the popular vote by 6 votes.
Which is a comfortable.
Or 16 to 10,
comfortable-
excuse me.
It's a comfortable lead. So we now we got the thing. So in first place, and the winner, and president and vice president elect is Virgil Rickles with 318 electoral votes. Matthew Cuomo with 185, and I said Virgil.
Virgil
And
Rickers.
Katie Porter, Virgil Rickers. All right, Katie Porter with 35 votes. You got that, Virgil?
I don't know who Virgil Rickers is, but it sounds like a really good.
My bad.
Yeah,
I'm
so
under the cold right now. My bad. It's either that or call you Pickles. I don't.
Let's see. So yeah. Anyways, don't know how this is going to shape up the
Well, how are we on the
certification by
Senate
Congress,
and the
but
House? How are we in Congress?
Breaking news.
Oh,
Reagan was muted for failing to comply with.
Hey, Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
Considering how good I did without one event when I was VP, can I be a roleplay officer? I
Oh,
did
that's
apply
not my
for
call
it
to make.
once.
Is it not the
This is a very appropriate place to be asking for that.
That's not my call to make. Anyways, moving
Yeah,
back
yes,
onto
quite. Hey, I just lost a job, okay? I'm looking for another one, okay? Don't blame me for losing my job.
yes,
Got a job.
the call on
You're the chief operations officer. Yes, it is.
it's not my decision to make. I have calls to make here. Okay, for the results of the congressional election, we can make the projection that the Senate and the House of Representatives will go to the Republican column.
Dude.
So it is a Republican trifecta.
Wow. And well, we have some breaking news. Supreme Court is currently deliberating on a national recount, which
Lovely.
No, they aren't.
which is going to be pretty hard to let that happen. You know, I'm sure the Supreme Court would understand that doing a national recount when already all votes were already counted is pretty dire.
You never know. Especially considering the 2020 election, gentlemen.
Well, you know, something I want to find out is what do the governors think? What does Governor Krusty Kev think? You know, of Washington being not even a Democratic state.
Washington.
What does the New England government even think of having a whole recount happen under his watch?
He thinks it's the best damn thing since sliced bread because Cuomo, he hates Cuomo. Cuomo care. He just doesn't like it. He wants.
Okay.
You know, what do these things? What do these governors know? And like, what is this election set precedent for what they will do in their gubernatorial seat?
We've been instructed to move to the desk. So,
I could
we'll move to the desk.
I could just theoretically retract my
Retract
VP
what?
thing because I'm still technically on the president thing, if you think about it.
The what?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, no one cares. You lost.
I'm just kidding.
Dumb stooge.
But you know, this is just the beginning. You know, we have abortion bans and from all the regions, and we can see this being an outcome and effect towards the federal level.
America is great because America is good.
Who said that? I feel like, oh my god, who said that? That was something from AP or something. I know it. Who said that?
Probably was.
All right, your
Some
electoral
goofy
analysis
Some
slash
goofy-ass war
PPT
speech.
slash senator slash next governor.
I imagine Liam
is
that was
about
like
to happen.
Alex Cahu. America is great because America is good.
Yes. America's great because America's good.
I'm gonna start using
Oh,
that. My inaugural address.
Really?
America is great because America is good.
Your first actual inaugural address.
Yes.
Very nice, very nice.
I already have it written
I can't believe you don't have a victory speech to give us.
because this wasn't a surprise.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's part of the tradition. You're supposed to give one.
You know, it's also tradition.
What's that?
I'm not gonna say that because she's gonna resign.
1 minute.
Eddie Dupont.
All right, folks. What?
Sissy for resigning. He's a sissy for leaving the Senate.
Oh, that's okay. I'll appoint people to the seat. You know, my calling has been made towards Texas, towards the governorship. Anyways, I'm going to head out already. I will see y'all later.
America, America, America. God is great. God.
Breaking news, we can now report that Mr. Cuomo is conceding the presidential election. So the race for president is over. I don't know if we have anything further to provide on the state of the race. We can find Mr. Cuomo's concession statement, I believe. So let me bring it up here. He says, I'd like to congratulate President Virgil Rickles for his victory and Katie Porter for her outstanding electoral performance. America has decided, and I will respect its choice. God bless America. And I believe Mr. Underwood has also made a statement. He says, congratulations to Rickles and good job for campaigning so hard. Matthew Cuomo _AF. When you come back, I will be speaker and Dems will be in the majority. Let's use it to get let's use it to get the right bleep done. I believe that is the most recent update that we can provide at the moment. And the final breaking news of the night is that the Supreme Court has denied the request for a recount. So with that being that, the race is over. Thank you to our panel for joining for this discussion, and we also would like to thank all of you here and at home for watching these results pour in. We will give you one final look at the big board to see who did well and where. And this is our final result of the night. So thank you and good night.